All right, the entity is repeatedly sounding helicopter activity while I am uploading while I'm showing you up close videos of group stalking and that psychotic group stalking system. The entity that is both fearful and still obsessively stalking is engaging what is amplification. This is the reverberating sound of helicopter activity while I'm inside of an office. And this is what you saw moments ago while the light source was directly over my head, creating my shadow directly beneath my feet. And you see a demon that keeps their back to you while they're targeting you. That's a demon that's stalking in the pathlodesma. He's going to federal prison. And he also knows that he's being pointed out. This is the mental illness that's revealed by that demon-possessed population that's group stalking you. And then when you surround them with the evidence and you tell all of their secrets as to how they're doing it, then you see the mental illness that's revealed. That's stalking in the path by helicopter. And they're doing it in the specific environment. You already know that the light source is here, not only because I already captured it as of February 2024, but because the entity is literally showing that light source as it unveils. It's revealed directly over my head as I'm capturing video, and you're seeing a demon calling themselves a supervisor at work. It's a third party. Group stalking. And that's how you're identifying the fact that you're being subject to group stalking. The light source is over my head, amplification of helicopter activity inside of my office while you're at a great distance. And they're also picking up that activity as I'm capturing video evidence of what I'm going to remind you about. But what I want to document right now is, again, additional grounds. Everybody that lives at Alvarado Gardens is going to federal prison. You're looking at group stalking while Maria Solis Alvarez, who's in violation of federal housing laws, while she's engaged in Title 18 criminal conduct on the venue of the internet with communication devices with all of the people who are group stalking with her that live at Alvarado Gardens and all nameless third parties. It's a population that's engaged in surveillance, not only on my communication device in violation of Title 18 22618 subsections 1 and 2, but also in concert with that entity that you see stalking. That's the state acting directly, amplifying helicopter activity, monitoring what I'm documenting on my phone, which is showing you, again, analysis of what is revealing demon possession and the criminal activity of the demon possessed entity. And I'm going to show you that vividly in a screen recording that's going to follow. But I wanted to show you the evidence of what it is I've been noting as I'm capturing this evidence on my phone. 1114, the entity is amplifying helicopter activity. The demon possessed engage in this tactic, just like you saw Maria Solis open my door with a smile on her face. This is a demon and a psychopath. That's her mental illness. She's intending to threaten me, doing so while the entity is in the background amplifying helicopter activity, and while this demon with a smile on her face is asking me a question, which is audible activity and relevant positioning and light activity creation in concert and on behalf of that corrupt entity, a demon-possessed one that uses helicopters to engage in terrorism and engage in the elements of criminal monitoring while they know what I'm documenting. As I was capturing those images earlier this morning, and as I capture images, the demon opens my door, CARLO LOPEZ. As I capture another image of what I'm documenting about CARLO LOPEZ, the demon calls my phone, Melania Padilla. As I document the fact that they're engaging in that ongoing stalking with activity creation, the demon CARLO LOPEZ opens my door again. The demon Melania Padilla calls the phone again. And then the demon Maria Solis Alvarez comes in. And then she comes in again with the audible activity of helicopter activity while they know exactly what I'm documenting. These are psychopaths. This is the demon-possessed population. And this same entity is stalking in helicopter as I'm capturing what are videos that will hone in so your ability to identify with your very eyes what is peculiar behavior that is terrorism while it's exhibited by a law enforcement agency that's clearly stalking you. Okay, this is months of capturing daily stalking conduct by a law enforcement agency on its face. And then I'm showing you what is the evidence of their demon possession while they're seeking to engage in a secret targeting system, which is group stalking, which is only engaged in by the demon possessed. Monitoring is done by, it's a spiritual act. The demon possessed that have a dark monitoring spirit on them, that is, you have a demon on you, okay, that's demon possession, are engaged in monitoring conduct. This is how the third parties have the demonic feature of the system, the behavioral pattern, which is demonic. They literally stalk with activity creation. They stalk maintaining presence, immediately opening my door, immediately calling my phone, immediately sending me a text on my phone, immediately responding with an email, immediately sounding helicopter activity. Okay, any manner of activity creation. They do that with simultaneity to what it is that I do. That's how you're recognizing the fact that you're being group stalked. And group stalking is underway by a demon-possessed entity. It's a government system. It's not some random cult that's over on the corner that they congregate every Wednesday night and they do weird stuff. It's a government system. Okay, first of all. Second of all, the entity is engaged in federal stalking. The demons know what you're doing on your phone. This is surveillance in violation of Title 18. Again, I'm going over this because you're seeing how it's a consistent system and you're always focused on the elements. And then when you're analyzing the criminal conduct of a demon-possessed entity, you're aware of, they reveal, in other words, tell their secrets, that they're also monitoring you on the internet in violation of your federal statutes, Title 18, to name one of many. And this is a government system. They're violating federal housing laws because an entire population that's monitoring what I'm doing at work on the computer, monitoring what's going on, what I talk about on the phone, monitoring my cell phone, they're violating federal housing laws, and it's a separate and independent ground of federal prosecution. Again, the private identifying information of federal housing applicants, federal housing recipients. This is all public information because I'm subject to master surveillance. Everything that she's talking about as a regional manager, simultaneously engaged in group stalking, is violating the federal housing laws. Understand that. And then you're talking about what is a violation of literally one's human rights. A whole demon-possessed psychopath keeping her back to me while the entity is group stalking in a helicopter as though there's some separation between the third party and the state. That's what the entity presents. Okay, first of all, that's ridiculous. Probable cause on the face of the stalking conduct, and that stalking following and remaining, even in a helicopter, is stalking on its face. Let me be clear, it's even more specific than that. They're stalking in the specific environment. The demon-possessed population thinks that they can keep their back to you, look to the left and look to the right, look like they're talking to each other. Okay, Carlo, Maria talking to each other while you're seeing the entity stalking while they're in the specific environment. And they're all in the specific environment surrounding me together. And they think that they are separate and distinct from the criminal system, while you are looking again at the entity that is group stalking on an ongoing basis. So I wanted to step out and get that. It is currently, again, 11:38 a.m. Criminal surveillance, the demon-possessed population, all of whom are going to federal prison here, using the laundry room as a means of group stalking. That's entirely psychotic and pathetic at the same time. It's a threat to your life while you're surrounded by psychopaths that are engaging in that level of obsessive stalking and making noise activity at every move that you make. And then you have a whole police department that is devoting that same level of obsessive and equally terrifying attention to you stalking in a helicopter. This is unheard of. It's absolutely disturbing. Okay. And this is occurring again in the workplace. And the surrounding evidence is, again, providing both a remarkable and insurmountable amount of evidence, which Todd Speaker has no legal argument for. I am going to drain the pockets, and I guarantee Speaker Companies is not going to survive. All right. The entity is subject to what is civil and criminal prosecution, and it will include prosecution for what I'm subject to in the workplace. The entity sounding helicopter activity, as you just saw on video, it's amplification, which is revealing what is targeting. Demons think that they can stalk you in the path flying over the mountainside, and they look like they're not stalking you because they don't know you, because you don't have any pending criminal charges against you. You're imagining it in your mind. That's called malice. That's the malice. They're group stalking in the specific environment. Amplification. This is demonic activity. A sunrise and the sunset at the same address is letting you know about what is demonic activity. Okay, I'm letting you know about what is the engineered light demonic activity. These are demons who are targeting you, maliciously appearing on the outside while they talk to each other, while they fly at a distance away from you. But yet you can hear the helicopter activity, but yet they're always present. In order to hear the helicopter, you can use your common sense on apps outside of what is the demonic. You have to be present in order for me to even hear you. And you have to capture consistent evidence of what it is the entity would like to suggest you're imagining. Yeah, that doesn't work with documentation. It doesn't work with the P.O.C. That's malice. And you're going to prosecute for that. That's grounds of disbanding. That's grounds of federal prison. That's grounds of mental examinations. That's revealing a psychopath that knows exactly what they're doing as they are engaging with a psychological torture as an entity. Okay, so while, again, I want to be clear, you see the entity crossing path by helicopter, it's impossible, again, that I hear it inside of my office. And the entity is monitoring what I'm doing on my phone, and I'm going to do a screen recording because I want you to see what those demons are going. They engage in a frenzy while they witness what it is that I'm exposing about them. But yet at the same time, they still continue to engage in that criminal system. That's why you go to federal prison for that. That's terrorism. That's psychotic. And it serves no legitimate. Why are you obsessed? Well, because you serve Satan. But those that want to serve Satan and violate the constitutional rights of another, you will be put in a straitjacket and put in a facility. You're not going to continue to be able to do that. So since you can't control yourself, since you persist, then you will be dealt with accordingly. Okay. And this includes, again, removal of the chief of police. Dominic Choi is not, nor can he reasonably contend that he's ignorant about the obsessive endeavor that is served of a criminal nature that the police department, the LAPD, are engaging in with helicopters 24/7. All right. You're talking about derelict, Okay, you're making an admission as to being derelict. Okay, under all circumstances, there's nothing that you can say. You are removed from your position. This is outright terrorism of American citizens, and you are not ignorantly the leader over that operation. Second of all, I want to let you know their secret is that they're a bunch of demons, and that's why you see them flying in circles. That's demonic pacing. That's a demon that's engaging what is monitoring. Yes, they're doing so in the engineered light. And what you see over my head, that's how you know this pacing demon is stalking me in concert with everybody else, because the light source is directly over my head. And that's not possibly the sun, because there's a whole body of evidence called the P.O.C. letting you know, oh, the sun's directly over my head in an entirely different place. Oh, the sun was rising in alignment to my living room at the same address. The sun would not possibly still be at the same address over my head at the same property at the end of the day. But that's exactly what the P.O.C. reveals. And that's how you know that they're demons. And Dominic Choi knows exactly what's going on. He is a part of it. This is state terrorism. 11:14, 11:19, 11:24, and as I walked out, it's currently 11:42 a.m., so that's 11:32 a.m. The entity is engaged in ongoing psychotic conduct using helicopters, so I want to walk out so that you see that. This conversation is group stalking. They're maintaining presence in the path. They're also engaged in federal stalking on the video of the internet, and they're surrounding while the demons are pacing in and out of the laundry room. I've already shown you that. You've seen the light source outside of the windows of this laundry room. You've seen the engineer light inside of that laundry room. The whole population that lives here, all of them are going to federal prison. They literally are engaging in 24-hour surveillance. And that's why Lucy Santos has no constitutional argument. Her work schedule is legally irrelevant. Everybody living at the crime scene is devoted to 24-hour criminally cooperative activity that is accomplishing state terrorism in concert with a corrupt government. It is currently, again, 11:42 a.m. That's capturing what is a psychopath that's engaging in state surveillance. And this is a regional manager for a property management company. That's a threat to your life while you see a demon-possessed third party, which, again, the mental illness is revealed through that passive-aggressive stalking conduct, which is the system. That's how group stalking is supposed to look. And by the way, in the specific environment, it's not persuasive. It's not less threatening. It's more threatening because you are looking at psychopaths and you're looking at malice. That's even more frightening. Okay? It is currently 11:43 a.m. This is P.O.C.